Before the world became fast, it moved to the steady heartbeat of iron and steam. Tonight, we aren't just traveling across a continent, we are traveling back to a time of endless horizons and the soothing rhythm of the rails. Let the distance between then and now carry you away. Welcome to Sleeptale Histories. I'm so glad you've joined us for this journey. Tonight, we invite you to leave the noise of the modern world behind. We are stepping onto the polished wooden floors of the old American railroads. Our promise is simple: a calm, historical passage through the misty mornings of the East, across the golden plains, and into the deep silence of the mountains. There is no rush to reach the end. The tracks are steady, the night is long, and you are perfectly safe. Just breathe, listen, and let the history of the rails guide you toward a deep, restful sleep.
Close your eyes. Take a deep, slow breath in and let it out. Imagine the year is 1830. The air is different, crisper, cooler, and filled with the scent of damp earth and wood smoke. You are standing on the edge of a quiet harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The Atlantic breeze is gentle, carrying the salt of the sea and the promise of a changing world. This is the dawn of a new era, a time when the horizon began to shrink and the heartbeat of a nation began to sync with the rhythm of the rails. In these early hours, before the sun has fully claimed the sky, the world is draped in a soft blue mist. For decades, the pace of life was dictated by the slow trot of a horse or the steady pull of a canal boat. But today, something else is stirring. In the distance, you hear a sound, a low, rhythmic puffing. It isn't the wind, it isn't the tide, it is the breath of the first iron horse. Imagine walking toward that sound, your boots crunching softly on the gravel path. You see it now, the Tom Thumb. It isn't the giant, thundering machine of later years. It is small, delicate, and experimental. It stands on thin iron rails that disappear into the morning fog, heading west. The boiler is made of dark, cool iron, and the brass fittings catch the very first glint of the rising sun, glowing like embers in a hearth. There is a strange, quiet beauty in this machine. It represents a dream, a whisper from the east that says, "We can go further, we can go together." As you step onto the open wooden platform of the carriage, the wood feels solid and honest beneath your feet. There are no enclosed cabins yet, no velvet curtains, just the raw, open air of the American wilderness. You find a seat on a smooth wooden bench. It's cool to the touch. You settle in, wrapping a heavy wool blanket around your shoulders, feeling the weight of it keeping you warm against the morning chill. Then the journey begins. It starts with a gentle lurch, not a violent one, but a slow, steady tug. Clink, clink, clink. The metal couplings find their tension, and then the sound that would define a century begins. The rhythmic chuff, chuff, chuff of the steam engine. It is a slow heartbeat, steady and reliable. As the train gains a little speed, moving no faster than a galloping horse, the scenery begins to slide past like a living painting. You leave the harbor behind. The salty air turns into the deep, green scent of the Maryland woods. You pass through groves of ancient oaks and towering maples. The leaves are heavy with dew, and as the train brushes past, a fine mist of water droplets sparkles in the air. The world outside is a blur of soft greens and deep browns. You watch a red-tailed hawk circling high above in the pale blue sky, silent and effortless, watching this new iron creature trace a line through its kingdom.
The tracks beneath you are a marvel of early engineering. Every few moments, there is a rhythmic thrum-thrum, thrum-thrum, as the wheels pass over the joints in the iron. It is a hypnotic sound. It's the sound of progress, but it's also the sound of a lullaby. Thrum, 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 thrum. Your body begins to sway slightly with the motion of the carriage, a gentle side-to-side rock that feels like a cradle. As the morning progresses, the train winds alongside a quiet river. The water is like glass, reflecting the trees and the sky so perfectly that it's hard to tell where the earth ends and the water begins. You see a lone fisherman on the bank. He stops, raises his hat, and watches you pass. There is a sense of shared wonder. You aren't just traveling, you are part of a miracle. The heat from the small boiler begins to drift back toward the carriage, a warm, comforting presence. It smells of burning anthracite coal, a dry, earthy scent that feels cozy, like a fireplace on a winter night. The steam rises in white, puffy clouds, swirling into the trees before vanishing into the sunlight. Think of the people who sat where you are sitting now. They looked at these same hills and wondered what lay beyond the next ridge. They whispered about the vast prairies of the West, the rugged peaks of the Rockies, and the distant shores of the Pacific. To them, this little train was a key, unlocking a door to a continent they had only seen in maps and dreams. But for now, there is no rush to reach the end. The beauty of the old railroads was the journey itself. The train doesn't hurry. It respects the land. It follows the curves of the hills and the bends of the rivers. You are moving through history at the speed of a dream. The sun is higher now, casting long golden shadows across the floorboards of the carriage. The air is warmer, and the rhythmic chuff 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 of the engine seems to grow even more steady, even more certain. Your eyes grow heavy as you watch the fence posts flicker by. 1, 2, 3. A steady, calming count. The east is where it started, in the quiet ports, the brick-lined streets, and the misty valleys. But as the iron rails stretch further inland, the story grows deeper. The whispers of the east are turning into the songs of the heartland. You can feel the vastness of the American landscape waiting for you, just beyond the next turn, just over the next horizon. But that is a story for the miles ahead. For now, let the sway of the carriage be your guide. Let the smell of the coal smoke and the pine trees settle your mind. The iron horse is steady. The tracks are sure. You are safe, you are warm, and the journey is only just beginning. As the sun begins to dip behind a distant ridge, painting the sky in hues of violet and soft gold, the train slows its pace. The whistle blows, a long, low, mournful note that echoes through the valley. It isn't a loud sound, but a peaceful one, a signal to the world that the day is ending and rest is near. The wheels continue their song, thrum, 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 slower now, quieter, leading you into the stillness of the night where the tracks meet the stars.
The mountains of the east have faded into a memory. The air has changed. It is wider now, carrying the scent of wild sage, sweet clover, and sun-warmed earth. You are leaning your head against the cool window pane of a Pullman sleeper car. The year is now the late 1860s. You have left the busy cities behind, and before you lies the great American plains, a vast shimmering sea of golden grass that stretches toward the horizon until it touches the very edge of the sky. Take a long, slow breath. Feel the stillness of the cabin. The wood around you is polished mahogany, smooth and dark. The lamps are dimmed to a soft, flickering amber. Outside, the sun is beginning its long, slow descent, casting a honey-colored glow over a landscape that seems to go on forever. This is the heart of the continent, a place of silence, space, and infinite peace. As the train moves deeper into the plains, the rhythm of the rails changes. On the flat, straight tracks of Nebraska and Kansas, the sound becomes a steady, hypnotic pulse. Click-clack, click-clack, click-clack. It is the heartbeat of the prairie. There are no hills to climb here, no tunnels to navigate, just the iron path cutting through the tall grass, which waves in the wind like the swells of an ocean. Look out into the distance. The grass is so tall it brushes against the sides of the train, a soft shh
sound that joins the symphony of the engine. You see a herd of bison, hundreds of them, moving like slow, dark clouds across the gold. They do not hurry. They move with the weight of centuries, undisturbed by the passage of the iron horse. The world here operates on a different clock, a clock measured by the seasons and the sun, not by minutes or hours. The sky above the plains is larger than any sky you have ever seen. It is a cathedral of light. As the sun sinks lower, the gold turns to a deep orange, then a dusty rose, and finally a bruised purple. There are no trees to block your view, no buildings to interrupt the majesty of the twilight. You feel small, but in a way that is comforting, as if you were being cradled by the earth itself. Inside the carriage, the porter moves quietly down the aisle, his footsteps muffled by the thick patterned carpet. He begins to prepare the berths for the night. You watch the practiced, rhythmic motion of his hands as he unfolds the crisp white linens. The sheets smell of lavender and fresh air. He tucks the heavy wool blankets tight, creating a nest of warmth and safety. You realize how tired you are. Not a tired of exhaustion, but a tired of deep, satisfied peace. You settle into your bed. The mattress is soft, yielding to your weight. The pillow is cool against your cheek. As you lie there, you can feel the vibration of the train, a gentle humming energy that vibrates through the floor and into your bones. It is a grounding sensation. It tells you that you are moving, that you are being carried safely through the dark, even while you rest. The train whistle blows, but here, in the vastness of the plains, it sounds different. It isn't a sharp warning. It is a long, lonely call that carries for miles, echoing off the empty space. It is the sound of a traveler saying hello to the night. Hoo, hoo. The sound fades slowly, trailing off into the wind, leaving a deeper silence in its wake. Now the stars are beginning to appear. Without the lights of the city, the sky is crowded with them, thousands upon thousands of silver pinpricks. The Milky Way stretches across the dome of the night like a veil of stardust. You watch the stars through the window, seeing them flicker through the thin veil of steam rising from the engine. Each star is a quiet guardian, watching over the tracks as they lead you further west. Imagine the pioneers who came before this train. They traveled in wooden wagons, moving only a few miles a day, listening to the same wind and seeing these same stars. But you are gliding. You are floating over the earth. The technology of iron and steam has turned a grueling journey into a rhythmic lullaby. The train passes a small, lonely farmhouse. A single lantern burns in the window, a tiny star on the surface of the earth. You wonder who is inside, perhaps listening to the distant rumble of your train as it passes by, a reminder that they are connected to the world beyond the horizon. Then the house is gone, swallowed by the velvet darkness, and it is just you and the plains again. The click-clack of the wheels grows even softer as the train maintains its steady pace. It is a sound that requires nothing from you. You don't have to think. You don't have to plan. You only have to listen. Click, clack. Sleep now. Click, clack. Your breathing begins to slow, matching the tempo of the train. Inhale as the wheels hit the joint. Exhale as they roll over the smooth steel. You are entering the very heart of the American dream, the wide open space where anything is possible, and where the only limit is the horizon. But tonight, the horizon is a place of rest. The golden grass has turned to shadows of silver under the moonlight. The sea of the plains is calm. As the train rolls on through the midnight hours, heading toward the distant, unseen peaks of the Rockies, you feel a sense of profound weightlessness. The world is vast, the history is long, and you are exactly where you need to be. The iron horse is your protector. The tracks are your path. Close your eyes now. The golden grass is still waving in your mind, a soft, silent sea. The rhythm is steady. The night is deep, and the mountains are waiting for you in the morning. But for now, there is only the plains, only the rhythm, and only sleep.
The warmth of the plains is behind you now. As the train begins its steady, rhythmic climb, the air outside your window grows thinner, sharper, and carries the scent of ancient pine and cold stone. We have reached the granite heart of the American West. You are entering the Sierra Nevada, where the echoes of hammers once rang against the mountainside, creating a path where nature said there could be none. This is the story of steel meeting granite, a quiet, powerful symphony of human will and the enduring silence of the peaks. Take a deep breath. Feel the coolness of the air as it seeps through the frame of the carriage. It is a refreshing chill, the kind that makes you pull your heavy wool blanket a little tighter around your chin. Outside, the landscape has transformed. The endless gold of the grass has been replaced by the deep, dark greens of Douglas firs and the silver gray of massive granite cliffs. The train moves slower here. You can feel the raw power of the locomotive as it leans into the grade. The chuffing of the engine is deeper, more guttural, a slow, determined breath. Chuff, pause, chuff, pause. It is the sound of strength. There is no hurry. In the mountains, time slows down. The rocks have been here for millions of years, and the train respects their gravity. As you look out, the moon begins to rise over a jagged peak, casting a pale, ethereal light on the snow-capped summits. The granite walls rise up on either side of the tracks, like the pillars of a great silent cathedral. You pass through a hand-cut tunnel, a snow shed built of heavy timber to protect the tracks from the winter drifts. For a moment, everything goes black. The sound of the train changes, becoming a deep, echoing rumble that vibrates in your chest. Rumble, roar, rumble. It is a dark, cozy cocoon of sound. And then you burst back out into the moonlight, the stars looking so close you feel you could reach out and pluck one from the sky. Think of the hands that built this. Imagine the quiet nights in the high-altitude camps, where the only sound was the crackle of a cedar fire and the distant howl of a mountain lion. Thousands of men carved this path through solid rock, inch by inch, using black powder and iron drills. They worked in the clouds. To them, the railroad wasn't just a track, it was a bridge across the impossible. You can almost hear the ghost of a hammer striking steel, a faint clink, 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 drifting on the mountain wind, a memory of the chords of steel and granite. The train crosses a high wooden trestle bridge, spanning a deep, dark gorge. Below, a mountain stream rushes over smooth boulders, its white foam glowing in the dark. From your window, you look down into the abyss, but you feel no fear. The bridge is a marvel of geometry, a web of timber and iron that holds you steady. The sound here is hollow and musical, a rhythmic thumb-thumb, thumb-thumb, as the wheels pass over the wooden beams. It's a delicate dance between the heavy train and the open air. The interior of your sleep-in car feels even more like a sanctuary now. The dark wood paneling creaks gently as the train twists through a mountain curve. It is a comforting sound, like an old ship at sea. The amber light from the oil lamp swings ever so slightly, a rhythmic pendulum that invites your eyes to close. You are suspended between the earth and the stars, moving through a world of shadows and moonlight. In the mountains, the silence is heavy.
Even the train seems to grow quieter as it reaches the summit. The engine crests the pass, and for a moment there is a feeling of weightlessness as you begin the long, gentle descent. The struggle of the climb is over. Now gravity does the work. The train glides. The wheels hum a low, continuous note against the steel rails, a song of friction and flow. You pass an old water tower, its wooden staves silvered by the weather. It stands as a lonely sentinel in the high desert, a reminder of the steam engine's thirst. Beyond it, the landscape starts to soften. The jagged peaks give way to high plateaus and hidden valleys where the mist sits thick and white like a lake of clouds. As you drift closer to sleep, the engineering marvel becomes a part of your own rest. The precision of the tracks, the strength of the granite, the stability of the iron, they all work together to keep you safe. You are a passenger on a journey that changed the world, but your only job tonight is to let the mountain air fill your lungs and the rhythm of the descent clear your mind. The click-clack has returned, but it is softer now, muffled by the thin layer of frost on the rails. Click, clack, sleep, now. The mountains are receding into the darkness behind you, their giant silhouettes standing watch over the path you've traveled. Ahead, the air is beginning to change again. It's becoming heavier, wealthier, and filled with the scent of old-growth forests and the distant hint of the Pacific. But the high country has left its mark on you. You carry the stillness of the granite in your heart. You carry the strength of the steel in your spirit. The train is moving toward the great terminals of the West, toward the velvet luxury of the Golden Age, but that is a story for the next hour of the night. For now, stay here in the cool mountain air. Let the rhythmic swaying of the carriage as it snakes through the canyons be your lullaby. The engineering is complete. The path is clear. The mountain is silent. And you are falling deeper into the granite shadows, into the chords of steel, into sleep. Step away from the rugged mountains and the wild wind of the plains. The air is changing once again. It is becoming warmer, scented with the aroma of expensive tobacco, polished brass, and the faint, sweet perfume of 1,000 travelers. We have arrived in the 1920s, the golden age of American luxury. You are standing under the vast vaulted ceiling of a grand terminal at midnight. The bustle of the day has surrendered to a majestic silence, and the station feels like a temple of stone and light, waiting just for you. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the cool marble floor beneath your feet, so polished it reflects the golden glow of the massive chandeliers hanging high above like frozen constellations. The echoes of your footsteps are soft, swallowed by the immense space. Here, the hurry of the world stops. In this grand hall, time is measured not by seconds, but by the steady, rhythmic ticking of the great bronze clock at the center of the terminal. Tick, tock, tick, tock. It is a heartbeat of certainty in a world of elegance. Before you stands the legendary 20th Century Limited, the most famous train in the world. A crimson carpet has been rolled out along the platform, a plush red path leading you toward your nocturnal sanctuary. The locomotive at the front is a masterpiece of Art Deco design, its sleek, dark steel shimmering under the station lights. It doesn't hiss or roar. It breathes a gentle, rhythmic steam like a giant at rest. As you board the train, the transition is seamless. You step from the cold marble of the station onto the thick, sapphire blue carpet of the lounge car. The interior is a world of mahogany, walnut, and brushed silver. The lighting is low and amber, cast by small silk-shaded lamps on every table. You take a seat in a deep velvet armchair that seems to wrap around you like a warm embrace. Through the wide glass window, the terminal begins to slide away as the train glides out so smoothly you barely feel the motion. There is no lurch, no jolt, only a silent, graceful departure into the velvet night. Imagine the dining car, where the tables are set with crisp white linen and heavy sterling silver that catches the moonlight. A steward in a white tuxedo moves with effortless grace, pouring water into a crystal goblet. The sound is a delicate tinkle, 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 a sharp, clear note against the low hum of the train. You are surrounded by the legacy of the Gilded Age, a time when travel was an art form and the night was a canvas of luxury. Now, you move toward your private sleeping berth. The heavy wood door closes behind you, shutting out the rest of the world. This is your kingdom for the night. The walls are lined with exotic woods, and the air smells of fresh lilies and old books. The porter has already turned down your bed. The sheets are made of the finest Egyptian cotton, cool and crisp to the touch, and the pillows are filled with soft goose down. As you lie down and pull the heavy silk-trimmed comforter up to your chest, the rhythmic song of the rails returns. But here, in this masterpiece of engineering, the sound is muffled, distant, and incredibly soothing. It is a deep baritone thrum-thrum, thrum-thrum. It feels like the train is whispering a secret to the dark American landscape. The train is now racing through the night, a silver streak under the moon. You pass through small towns where the streetlights flicker like fireflies. You see the dark silhouettes of sleeping farmhouses and the quiet reflections of lakes. But inside your cabin, everything is still. The only movement is the gentle side-to-side swaying of the carriage, a rhythmic rock that lulls your body into a state of total surrender. Think of the dreamers who have occupied this berth before you. The poets, the magnates, the silent film stars. They all listened to this same rhythm, watched these same shadows dance across the ceiling, and felt this same profound sense of safety. The railroad has created a cocoon, a moving palace that carries you through time and space while you simply exist. The Golden Age was about more than just wealth. It was about the beauty of the journey. It was about realizing that the destination can wait because the night belongs to the rails. The engine is a steady, powerful heart beating for you. The tracks are a silver ribbon unfurling across the dark heart of the nation. Your eyes are growing heavy now, weighted by the elegance and the ease of the night. The amber glow of the lamp is just a memory. The mahogany walls are shadows. There is only the feel of the cool linen, the scent of the lilies, and the hypnotic pulse of the 20th Century Limited. Thrum, thrum. Sleep well. Thrum, thrum. All is well. As the train speeds toward the deep forests of the north, leaving the grand terminals far behind, the history of luxury becomes the history of your own rest. You are drifting, floating, moving through a landscape of dreams. The iron horse is a silent guardian, the night is a velvet curtain, and you are falling deeper into the golden age, into the silver night, into sleep.
The world has vanished. The grand terminals, the mountain peaks, and the golden plains are now just memories drifting in the dark. You are deep within the night now, the quietest hour, where the line between the train and the dream begins to blur. There is no destination anymore. There is only the motion. There is only the rhythm. Welcome to the symphony of the rails, a song without words, played by iron on steel, composed specifically for your rest. Take a slow, deep breath, in and out. feel how heavy your limbs have become. The mattress beneath you seems to rise up to meet you, cradling you in the dark. Outside the window, the American landscape is a shroud of deep indigo and charcoal. You can no longer see the trees or the rivers. You can only feel them as the train glides through the cool, damp night air. Listen, listen to the heartbeat of the iron horse. It is a complex, beautiful layers of sound. First, there is the low, distant hum of the engine, a deep vibration that you feel in the soles of your feet and the base of your skull. It is a grounding frequency, a steady ohm that anchors you to the earth. Over that hum, there is the melodic click-clack of the wheels passing over the rail joints. It is the metronome of the night. It tells your brain that everything is moving exactly as it should. There is no chaos here. There is only order. There is only the track. As the train picks up a steady pace on a long, straight stretch of the Midwest, the rhythm becomes faster but softer, a shimmering shh as the steel wheels polish the rails. It sounds like a gentle rain falling on a tin roof or the wind moving through a forest of pine. It is a white noise that wipes away the clutter of your day, leaving your mind as clear and open as the midnight sky. Imagine the train crossing a long steel bridge over a wide, sleeping river. The sound changes. The click-clack becomes a hollow, resonant boom, a deep musical echo that vibrates through the wooden floorboards of your cabin. Drum, drum, drum. For a few moments, you are suspended over the water, floating between the stars above and their reflection in the river below. Then the sound softens again as you reach the solid earth on the other side. The carriage sways gently, a slow, predictable rock, to the left and to the right, to the left and to the right. It is the same motion that has lulled travelers to sleep for nearly 200 years. It is the motion of the cradle. It is the motion of the tides. You don't have to balance yourself. The train holds you. You are a passenger in the truest sense of the word. You have surrendered your direction to the rails. You have surrendered your time to the rhythm. In the corner of your cabin, a small glass of water sits on a mahogany shelf. You watch the surface of the water ripple in tiny concentric circles with every pulse of the train. It is a visual representation of the energy carrying you forward, a quiet, controlled power. The shadows of the telegraph poles outside flicker across the wall of your cabin. 1, 2, 3, a steady, dark pulse that hypnotizes your eyes until they can no longer stay open. Think of the vast network of tracks beneath you, thousands of miles of iron veins stretching across the heart of America. They connect the quiet valleys of Virginia to the foggy shores of Oregon. And right now, in this moment, you are a part of that great connection. You are a single point of warmth moving through the immense cool dark. The rhythm you hear is being heard by others miles away, in other trains, on other tracks. It is the shared lullaby of a continent. The train whistle blows again, but it is so far away now, muffled by the distance and the thick, humid air of the night. It sounds like a sigh. Whoo, a long, tapering note that blends into the hum of the engine. It is a signal to the stars that all is well. The air in your cabin is perfectly still. The scent of the old wood and clean linens has settled into a comforting familiar. Your breathing has now fully synchronized with the train. Every inhale is a click. Every exhale is a clack. You are no longer just sitting in the train. You are part of the symphony. You are the music of the motion. As the hours of the deep night fold into one another,
the rhythm seems to slow down. The train isn't losing speed, but your perception of it is changing. The sounds are becoming more distant, as if they are being wrapped in layers of soft gray velvet. The click-clack is now just a whisper, a ghost of a sound, a memory of a journey. You are drifting now, moving away from the physical world of iron and steam into the fluid world of dreams. The tracks are still there, guiding you, but they are becoming tracks of light. The engine is still breathing, but it is a breath of pure peace. Ahead lies the final stop, the end of the line where the old engines go to rest and the echoes of history fade into the morning mist. But that stop is still far away. There are many miles of rhythm left, many miles of symphony. Let the motion take you. Let the iron heartbeat be your guide. You are safe. You are drifting. You are the rhythm. You are the night.
The rhythm has softened. The deep, heavy pulse of the night is beginning to dissolve into the pale, silver light of a new dawn. But this is not a morning of hurry or noise. It is a morning of mist, of memories, and of absolute stillness. We have reached the end of the line. The tracks have led us across the heartbeat of a nation, through the mountains and the plains, and now they bring us here, to a quiet valley where time seems to hold its breath. Welcome to the final stop, where the echoes of history come to rest. Take one last slow, deep breath in. Hold it for a moment, and let it out with a sigh. Feel the weight of your body completely surrendered to the bed. You are no longer moving, yet you feel the phantom sway of the train, like the memory of a rocking boat. The engine has slowed to a crawl. The steam no longer roars. It drifts from the valves in lazy white ribbons, curling into the cool morning air and vanishing into the fog. Outside your window, the world is draped in a thick, pearly mist. You are in a small, forgotten station in the heart of the American countryside. There are no crowds here, no shouting conductors, only the sound of a single bird waking up in a nearby willow tree, its song muffled by the damp air. The station is made of old red brick and weathered wood, standing as a silent witness to a century of journeys. As you step, in your mind, off the train for the last time, your feet land on a path of soft, damp earth and moss. The air is cold and sweet, smelling of rain-washed pine and the metallic tang of the resting iron. Behind you, the great steam engine sits peacefully. Its massive wheels, which turned 1,000,000 times across the continent, are still now. The iron is cooling, making faint metallic tink, tink sounds as it settles into the quiet. It is the sound of a giant going to sleep. Look down the tracks. They stretch back into the mist, disappearing into the history we have just traveled. You can almost see the ghosts of the lanterns flickering in the fog, the amber glows of 1,000 midnight journeys. The rails are no longer just steel. They are threads in the fabric of the American story. They are the echoes of pioneers, of dreamers, of lovers saying goodbye, and of weary travelers finally coming home. You walk slowly toward a small grassy meadow just beyond the platform. Here, an old retired carriage sits, partially reclaimed by nature. Wildflowers grow around its iron steps, and ivy curls lovingly around the brass handles. It isn't a ruin, it is a monument to rest. In this place, the iron horse has returned to the earth. There is a profound sense of peace here.
the kind of peace that comes only after a very long and meaningful journey. The sun is a pale white disk behind the clouds, casting no shadows. The world is a canvas of soft grays, muted greens, and faded golds. You find a spot to sit on an old wooden bench, polished smooth by decades of waiting. You watch the mist move slowly across the valley floor, flowing like a silent river. Everything is soft. Everything is muffled. Even the thoughts in your mind are slowing down, drifting like the fog. There is a beauty in the final stop. It is the realization that every journey has a purpose, and every rhythm eventually finds its silence. The American railroads built cities, crossed canyons, and united oceans, but their greatest gift was the way they carried the soul across the vastness of the world. And now that soul is ready for stillness. The echoes of the train whistle are far away now, not even a sound, just a memory of a sound. Whoo! It is the wind in the trees. The click-clack of the wheels is now just the rhythmic dripping of dew from a leaf onto the soft earth. Drip, drop, drip, drop. Your heart rate is slow. Your mind is quiet. You are wrapped in the echoes of time. The history of the rails is your history tonight. You have traveled the dawn, the plains, the mountains, and the golden terminals. You have been a part of the symphony, and now you are a part of the silence. The mist is closing in around you, a soft, warm blanket of white light. It hides the tracks, it hides the station. It leaves only you in this perfect moment of rest. The iron horse is sleeping. The granite peaks are silent. The golden grass is still. You are home, not at a destination on a map, but in the destination of the spirit, the place where sleep is deep, where dreams are kind, and where time no longer matters. Let the fog carry you. Let the echoes fade. The journey is complete. The story is told. Now there is only the mist. Now there is only the silence. Now there is only sleep. The steam has vanished into the morning mist. The iron wheels have found their final rest. You have traveled thousands of miles tonight, not with your feet, but with your spirit. Now it is time for your journey to end in the most peaceful way possible. The world outside is quiet. The tracks have brought you home. Feel the weight of the history you've heard settle into a calm, dreamless sleep. You are safe. You are at rest. If the gentle rhythm of the rails brought you a little peace tonight, you are always welcome to travel with us again. Sleeptale Histories is here each week with quiet stories, slow journeys, and calm nights. If it feels right, you may subscribe and let the bell softly remind you when another peaceful night arrives. Sleep well, traveler. The echoes of the past will still be here when you wake. Good night.